Hello and welcome along to this new video. This video is going to be what I have bought in the month of October. October's been a busy month. I find that on YouTube there's a lot of videos getting put on and it's very hard to watch most of them, if I'm honest. The people who are putting out the 31 Days of Hollywood, my hat goes off to them. I tried to do 13 from this book here and I must admit I struggled to do that, and that's across the full month, never mind doing 31, which is basically one a day. Wow. So congratulations to anybody who's managed to do that. Excuse me. And I will be checking those videos out probably in the month of November because there was that many to check out. Okay, that being said, in the month of October I thought originally it was going to be a bit of a poor month because there was nothing really on the horizon for me that I was really interested in getting. The only thing I wanted to get, or thought I was going to get, was going to be the Gamera box set from Arrow. Now that was an amazing presentation, but unfortunately I waited far too long. I got it right, well, I did order it off Amazon right at the very end for £109, and it got cancelled just before it came. And the fact that they said that the date for getting it was going to be so far away from when I ordered it, just the alarm bells rang out, and I would have been amazed if I had received that. And funny enough, my wife said to us yesterday, did we ever get the money back? The £109.99, did it ever come back? And I said, to be honest, I don't know. So whoever's got it, whoever that was, or whoever said they were going to do it, because I don't think it was an Amazon affiliation person, you know, can I have my money back? But anyway, that being said, what did I get? The first one I got was from a shop called One Stop. Now One Stop used to be Pound World, I believe, and everything in it is a pound, not like Poundland when the Blu-rays are £2. How extravagant. So yes, so for £1, now these films I saw it, I do like these, I haven't heard of it, I do like these actors, I do like Marky Wahlberg. I didn't used to, but I do like him now. He is what he is, and so is Russell Crowe for me. It could be a good film, it might be rubbish, who knows? For £1, who cares? If it's just a daft watch one day when you've got nothing else to watch, when that happens, I do not know. So it's one of the ones you get and you just say, well, for £1, even if I don't like it, you can even just take the box and put it somewhere else, or just send it to CX for a penny. So yes, so usually in One Stop, the films they've got in there seem to be, excuse me, they seem to be in there forever. And they've got more DVDs than Blu-ray, and funny enough, the DVDs in there are still £1 as well, and there's some really good titles on DVD, or even though I don't collect DVDs that much now, probably the titles I've got there in DVD, I've got them on Blu-ray. But it's a quite, if you've got one near you, do check it out, because it's a very small area. It's just a little part in the shop, in my shop in Newcastle. So have a look, you might get some, that might be a gem, who knows. Anyway, moving on. So I got this one as well, Pathology. Now I'm sure I saw somebody talking about this on DVD. They had it on DVD. It could have been Horror Hands, I'm not too sure about that, but it might be a decent film. I like sometimes these ones you've got no expectations, you go and you buy them ultra cheap, you watch them, and sometimes you are quite entertained, and if you're entertained at the end of the day, that's all you really want. So I was a right spendthrift in this One Stop on that day. I spent £3 and I got this one as well. Now, the reason I got this one was for Jason Statham. I do like Jason Statham, I do like his movies. They are what they are. Sometimes they are a little bit laughable, but I just like him. I think he's a good actor in that genre. It's got Robert De Niro in as well. I don't know if I'm too keen on Robert De Niro's later work, although in Joker he was amazing. And also Clive Owen as well, which it could be. If it's not, it's not. It doesn't really matter. I did used to see this in the video shop, you know, in Blockbusters all the time. Never watched it, but it might be all right. So that was in One Stop, so that was £3 down. The next one was off Amazon. Now I'm a big fan of this show. I'm a big fan of these, like this comedy, and I have seen this comedy live with my friend anyway. So I had to get the sort of last thing that I haven't got, although I haven't got the series that came out before this, although it's in a box set and I've got all the stuff anyway. I think it's there actually. Yep, roundabout there. So anyway, this is the live with a nice slip as well. Now I don't mind getting these TV stuff on DVD. It usually is quite cheap. I think it was only about £4 odd, and that's the classic scene there. They're probably going to be playing the card game of Go Johnny Go 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 Go, with the rules that don't make sense at all. But I just love the whole world that they've created, the three people in here. And when I saw them live, they were just absolutely amazing. So for me, it was one of the ones I had to get, although I do want to get that other series. But I do have it like on my Sky Go or whatever it is. The next one I got was from Amazon, and I saw this on DVD. A friend of mine at work had started talking about it, so I thought I'll go and watch my DVD, which I realised I hadn't watched, and I had for about 10 years or something. So I watched it and I liked it that much, I went and got the Criterion of Jabberwocky. Now, this film is a visual treat. The way it's done by Terry Gilliam, who always, his films are always, you know, he's an artist, he knows what he's taught, he knows what he's visualising, or he wants to visualise. This one here is just, it's a funny film, it's a great film, I did enjoy it. It's got lots of stars in it from TV and early 70s TV. You'll know a lot of people in here if you're a fan of that thing, Dad's Army and, you know, Steptoe and Son, all that type of thing. And it's just pure, it's a pure joy to watch, and the Criterion version have done a really good upgrade on it. The DVD look quite dark. This one is dark as well, but it's dark in a way where you can see things in it. It's not you're watching a picture that you can't actually see anything. And Michael Palin is always good in everything, and he's great in this film. So it was a first time watch for me recently, but I highly enjoy it, and I recommend it to anybody who's a fan of Monty Python. It's the only thing it could have done with a few more Monty Python people in it, but apart from that, and it's urging me to watch a film that I've put on the shelves years ago and forgotten about, Time Bandits. I wanted to watch it this month but didn't get around to it. In November I watched Time Bandits because the aestheticness of this film is that nice that I wanted to check out Time Bandits to see if it recreates this, because I haven't watched Time Bandits for a long time, even though I saw it at the cinema, I believe. The next one was a one from HMV, and I bought it because I got the other one and I needed to see the second one. And when you want to see the second one, it's never anywhere. Thought it would be in CEX for like a small amount of money, but of course it wasn't. And I went and got this for about £7, and it's Happy Death Day to You. It's the second part in the Happy Death Day series. I think it's going to go on to do other films. You know, I would like to see it do other films. This one for me was really good. It was different. Happy Death Day is more of a horror, kind of, and Happy Death Day is more like a sort of comedy sci-fi horror, if that's the right way to say it. I don't want to give anything away about the story, because although people say it's not as good as the first one, because the first one delivers something else. I did really enjoy it. I do enjoy the characters. I do enjoy the whole setup of it, even though it's really quite preposterous. I do think that it's a really good, fun film to watch, and if you just take your brain out, leave it by the door, you'll have a good time with this film. Me and my wife did, although my wife, I don't know how she saw it, because she had a pillow in front of her face for most of the night. Now the next one was a film that I unboxed, and I was really interested in seeing it, and I knew that it was available as a better version across in the States. I went on the WOW HD and got it for about £14, and it is 1974's The Legend of Hell House. Now I've watched this film. I'll say more about it on my review, which is coming up, about what films I've watched. And although it's going to be broken into two parts, it's going to be the 13 films I've watched. They'll be all ranked, which I'm quite excited to do that video, because when I saw the list that I had to watch, I would have ranked it in a certain way. But when I want to re-watch the films, I've ranked them in a completely different way than I thought I would, which was quite interesting myself. So that's coming up. But this one wasn't in there. But anyway, it's going to be in two parts. That's the short story. So The Legend of Hell House, highly recommended. It's a great horror. It's quite spooky in its way, and the picture quality in here is really, really good. I do urge anybody to get it, and it's region free as well. 14 quid, region free. Don't bother with the German version, which is on about £8 on eBay, because this one is it's got all extras on it and stuff like that, so I can't see this one being, and I think it's Scream Factory as well, so yeah, you know it's going to be good. But more about that on what I've watched. The next one, funny enough, was a film. Well, actually, before that, what I also got was a CD. Now, I bought this one here. Obviously, the sad passing of Eddie Van Halen spurred me on to think a little bit more about Van Halen. Although they're not really my type of band. I prefer something that's a bit less metal. Well, sort of, I want to say like pop metal. I prefer more like heavy, hard, grubby metal than polished. But for some reason, I remember that I really liked a couple of tracks on here, which is Why Can't This Be Love and also Dreams. Now, when I put the CD on, I've had Dreams on loop since I got this thing. For probably the last month, I've been listening to nothing but Dreams. Now, this made me think, why was I so bothered about this song, Dreams, which is a song that I've never thought about for years and years and years. And I did have it on vinyl. Sometimes I will probably do a thing on my vinyl in the future. And this one here was a really played single. I remember that. But I thought to myself, why did I like this so much? And then it clicked. The drum sound that Alex Van Halen, I'll just rewind. Alex Van Halen is Eddie Van Halen's brother. Eddie Van Halen's one who passed away. His drum sound on here is, for me, perfection. And if you've heard it, or you want to know what I think my favourite drum sound is, it's basically this. Now, a lot of the songs that I record in Mondo Celovec, when I play drums on them, the drum beat on here is probably played on 50+% of the songs. They're of that speed, they're of that place where you can put that sort of beat into it. But anyway, so it's, for me, the drum sound in this was one of the things that, it was a kind of interesting thing that I picked up on that. It's one of them things that you just bury in your head and you just don't think about. So the drum sound of this song is my favourite drum sound of all time, believe it or not. And that's an interesting thing which I never even thought about until I got that CD. Would I have even remembered about that if I hadn't got the CD? Probably not. The next one was from Poundland. Now, in my book that I picked for last month, the film came up called Hostel, and I thought, I've got that on DVD, and I hadn't got it on DVD, so I couldn't watch it. But weirdly enough, when I was in Poundland the other day, I saw this, which was a DVD of Hostel, Hostel 2 and Hatchet. Now, funny enough, I had to watch Hatchet. That's a mouthful on my 13 films for this month, horror films. And so I put it on here. Now, these ones, it doesn't mention on the box, but they've all the special features that were on the DVD set are on here. So they're all packed. There's loads of special features on here. Now, Hatchet, for me, I do know, I was looking about it online, maybe some of you can help me with this film, that Hatchet was cut in the release in the UK, and the only way you can get it uncut is to get the special edition, which is going for some stupid money, and all the Hatchet films are going for stupid money, actually, which is a bit of a shame, because I do want to revisit them, because I love this film. And so the things it said were missing in it, certain scenes, and it showed it in this, I'm going to say maybe DVD compare, something like that. All of the scenes that they were talking about were in this version, yet the running time of it was say the running time is meant to be 95 minutes, and this was 90 minutes. Now, it was a shorter running time, but it had all a gore in it. I do not know fully what that was about. But anyway, more of that on my what I watched horror-wise on the end of the month video. But I have picked Hostel for next month. I will be watching it on this one. It was just a bit weird that I saw it and I thought, well, for £1 I can get it. I'll watch them. It doesn't break the bank, and they're there if I ever want to watch them. I wouldn't say they're my favourite films, but that one is a brilliant film. If you haven't seen it and you like slasher films, this is one of the best. Now, it's the fella in it, the sort of the killer, is played by Kane Hodder, Jason. And if they'd made this film, say if they made a Jason film, a Friday the 13th film, with this sort of theme in it, and just the killer was changed to Jason, it would be immense. It would easily be the best ever Friday the 13th film in my eyes, without a shadow of a doubt. So yes, more of that on my other video, but for £1, why not? And when I was in there as well, as you're browsing on the shelves, and I do like sort of comedies, I do like, I wouldn't say chick flicks, but you know, that might be classed as that. This film's called He's Just Not Into You. Now the reason I picked it up was because it's got quite a good cast. The people in here I do like in other things, so I thought, well, why not? You know, for £2, who cares if it's not that good? When will I watch it? Who knows? But it's there anyway. So getting back to, it seems like all I was in was Poundland and One Stop. I went to One Stop the other day, obviously, and when I was looking around, there was a Blu-ray in there that had been there for, well, forever, since it opened. And I kept looking at it and thinking, it looks rubbish. I don't like one of the actors in it, and I don't want to know. But after looking at it, because there's nothing else there, I thought, you know what it is? This film's stared at me for a year. I'm going to have a look at it, and it's The Wedding Video. Now, the reason why I don't like it is because I don't really like Rufus Hound when I see him on quiz shows and stuff like that. He comes across just not someone I'm not really that into. I do like Robert Webb and the Lucy Punch. What a funny name. I've seen her in a few things and she's quite good. And also Miriam Margolis as well. She's always good and stuff. And it's got a really good cast. There's a load of people in here probably just doing cameos. And I did watch it and I thought it was a really, really good film actually. But more of that on what I've watched in the month of October. But for £1, not bad. It's one of those ones that you see and you see and you see, and you probably just think, I'm going to buy it. If it's trash, it gets thingied out, another disc goes in it, and it's away. CEX for £1. So anyway, getting on to more substantial releases. When I was in HMV the other day, they had a sale was starting, which is still on at the minute, 2 for 15, or money knocked off their sort of higher titles, higher end titles. So I picked up this one, which I've been looking at. Unfortunately, it didn't have the slipcase, but it doesn't matter because it was, you know, it was only about £10, which for these 3 films you cannot grumble at that. And it's directed by Mishi Yamamoto. I never heard of this director. I'm a big fan of J-horror films, really am. I was lucky enough to, and I don't know if I talked about this before, I was lucky enough to have a neighbour who was Japanese. And we had lots and lots of chats about Japanese horror films in essence, and it's a great genre to be talking about, and also it was fun to talk to somebody who was Japanese as well, which is really good. I love the culture. And also for another £10, I picked up this, which has got a lovely slipcase, Dead or Alive trilogy, Takeshi Miike. And I always think that I say that wrong when I say Takeshi Miike instead of Takeshi Mike, but obviously it's Miike, but it sounds wrong to me. I know it's not wrong. Anyway, moving on. So this one here, I haven't watched it, but I was really, for £10, it's supposed to be £30, you could not grumble at that. And I do like these films and I do love these sets, but sometimes, especially in HMV, they have them quite expensive and you think, that's going to take a large chunk out of the budget, but for £10, that's a steal. So when I was in there as well, I picked up this one because I do, as you can see, just around about there. If I can, I should use either arm. There's a gap for this one. My slasher collection. This is number 42, and it is Christmas Evil. Now, funny enough, just as I was recording, just before I recorded this, I saw a video from Keith from Euphoria Pictures, who had liked this film, especially the cover. I didn't know how much he liked it, but I saw one and I sent one across to him, and he opened it on his channel. He's given me a great shout out, so I'm giving Keith a great shout out. In the extreme unlikeliness that you haven't bumped into Keith in Euphoria Pictures yet, I urge you to get across to his channel. It's an amazing channel, a channel which I found very early on in my YouTube. I think it was not before I made YouTube videos, it's just after I made YouTube videos. Euphoria Pictures came into my recommendations. I subscribed him and we've been great friends ever since. He's a great guy, and check his stuff out. But he picked one of these up as well, and he's took it all. He's unboxed it and all that, and I can tell you I've checked the picture quality out on it, and it looks really nice. Plus, as Halen told me, whose name will come up a little bit later on, he said that there's a commentary track on here from John Waters, so that in itself is something to watch it for. If the film's rubbish, which I don't think it is, I think it is a good film, to have him talking on anything is a treat in itself. And also, that was in the 2 for 15, and the second one I got in the 2 for 15 is Dark Waters. I've changed the cover, although I do like the cover better on the other side. I think the cover on there is better, but the reason why I've changed it is for the 15 certificate on the side. All my Arrow films do not have the certificate shown, just to keep them a bit more, that they go a little bit more, they just flow a bit better. They're a bit more, what's the word? I always blank on a word, and that's the one I'm blanking on. I will pop it up later on. Okay, so Dark Water, really looking forward to watching that. It's been on my radar for a long time. Also in there from HMV, I got this. No, I didn't actually. I sent this on the Arrow sale that they've just had. I sent away for this one. Every Arrow sale, I always go for this title, and it's always sold out. But it wasn't this time, so I managed to get it for a little bit more than usual. £10. It was £15, but that's beside the point. It is Krzysztof Kieslowski. Wow, Decalogue. Now this is a TV series. I've checked out a little bit of it. I'm really interested in watching it, and the picture quality was stunning. Now it's one of them ones where you go 4K restoration for all 10 episodes. You think to yourself, this has got to have some 4K mastering done to it, because it just looked that pin sharp. To be honest, it had a little look of the film Come and See, and it also had it did have that kind of wow factor when you put it on, especially for a TV series. You don't really think of them being remastered in 4K, but there you go. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But I hear all people talk about it being really, really good. Plus it's a TV series as well, which is a bit strange. Well, not strange, but you know what I mean. I hope this video doesn't get too long for you. The next one I got was a subscriber mail from getting back to Keith from Euphoria Pictures. The Fifth Element on 4K. Now Keith sent me this as a sort of thank you for the things I'd sent him. Well, really, the sort of when I got this, I was stunned when I opened it. I thought, it's the Fifth Element, but when I looked at it that way, it didn't. I know it's got a black case, but sometimes Blu-rays have black cases. It didn't really strike as anything. Of course, when I turned it around and I saw the 4K at the top, I just thought, wow. And this film is it's a funny film, and I think the reason why I've neglected it is because I think I saw clips of it on Sky Movies way back when, and the clips I've seen haven't really been the best clips to show. The film didn't have an identity to me, and it just seemed to be a bit of I just didn't know how to pigeonhole it, for want of a better word. So with this one, I just said, right, I'm putting it in, I'm looking at it. Well, there's more to talk about this on what I've watched on the month of October. But I put it in, I had a really good time with it, and to be honest, I got it this time. After I didn't give it a chance, although I had it on Blu-ray for ages, and I was going to watch it on the recommendation of Keith. But funny enough, this popped through. I had to watch it, and I've got to say, the 4K on it is absolutely stunning as well. So if you're thinking about getting this on 4K, I can say go ahead and get it. The colours on it, especially the gold, seems to be a lot of gold in it. Just wow. The next one I got was a film that I've been searching for a long time, and I saw it cheap on DVD, and I thought, why not? £8. Psycho's in Love. Now, when I have watched this, I will talk more about it on what I've watched on the month of October. But this film is just wild, and but it is out on Blu-ray. But because the film is so low budget, I don't know how good the Blu-ray would be over the DVD. Now the DVD, I think, is from somewhere like it's like Denmark, Dutch, Finnish, something like that. It's not the best of pictures. It's not bad. Don't get us wrong. There's a lot of extras in here, but it's just the film's so low budget. Would a Blu-ray do it any justice? Would it be better off, or would it be all right for you just to get it on DVD? Anyway, more about that on my videos what I've watched, because I don't want this one to get too chunky. This next one is another one that I've been after for a long time. I had it in my collection. I sold it because I was buying a really expensive drum kit, electronic drum kit. More about that in a future episode of anything musical, obviously. And I sold this one for quite a bit of money actually, and I bought this one. It was £19. It's DVD. It's been so long out of print. It's absolutely ridiculous. This film is so good. You never ever see it anywhere. And when I put a thing out of the video, it says, anybody seen this film? A few people had actually, but it might be one of those ones. Do you really want to pay £20 on a film that you just don't know anything about? I would love this to come out. I think 88 Films could do a really good version of this, or Studio Canal. Will it ever come out? Who knows? Why is it not coming out? I haven't got a clue. But more about that on another video, because I haven't watched it yet. But I want to talk about that more fully when I do watch it and refresh my memory about this film. The next one was a 2 for £15 in HMV, and it was £2 for £15 because I did buy the other 50. Well, Keith helped me out because I got this one, Terror Train, so I needed 2 for 15. So there was another one of these, so that's the one I sent to Keith. So that's why Keith got his. Keith helped me out, so it's all good, isn't it? So this one here is number 41. It's unfortunately it's not got a slipcover on, and it hasn't got anything inside. Now I do know sometimes there's one went on eBay for £7.50 as well. I couldn't believe it, because what I could have done was got that one. And plus as well, I like the red boxes. The red boxes are starting to get phased out now, which is a big shame, because the way that it look on the shelf looks amazing in red, because I can't get the hands on red at the minute, or probably ever. It's going to go out, so that's a bit of a shame, but never mind, that's just the way it is. I'm not going to quibble over that. There's more things going on in the world at the moment. Now the next one was the one that I just saw and I thought, wow, this goes for stupid money on eBay. It's long out of print. I'm going to get something that's going to be really, it was practically nothing. It was £25, so I thought I'm going to get it. Now unfortunately it's not this must be the re-release of it, which is fair enough. I think the only thing I'm missing out of it is a booklet, which I can live with, but in a way all I want to do is to see the films. So it is the Female Prisoner Scorpion, the complete collection. That's good, because I thought, am I missing a film? But no, it's a complete collection, and you do get 4 films in there. Each one has their own disc. They have some great art on there as well, which I'll go more into in another video when I've watched these ones, because I haven't, but I have checked them out. They look really nice, and it does feature, if I can read this, the lady who was in what's she called again? I think it's Maiko Kaji, who was in Lady Snowblood. Now Lady Snowblood is an amazing film. Now for that alone, to see her in another film is great, and I do want to watch these because I've heard good things about them. And for £25, it's supposed to be 50, although I don't think it should be going for 50. That is a stunning set to pick up with, and it's got the whole, it's really tactile. It's the big box of Arrow that they do quite well, the hard box. So you can't go wrong. So getting back to Halen, he sent me as a subscriber mail, which was very unexpected and very much appreciated, a film called The Wolves. Now this is on DVD, and it's also long out of print. You can't get this film for love nor money. So it's amazing to think that to give me something that could have went for money on eBay, he decided to give it to me. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate it anyway, but to know the history behind the whole thing being, you can't walk in the shop and get it anyway, which is amazing. It's a region 1 as well, which is okay, so I've got a region 3 player. And there's it there, and there's Yuha's note. I always keep anything I get from anybody, and I'm looking forward to seeing this. I did put it on and check it out, and to be honest, the picture quality was really nice. Yuha said it's a bit long, but it doesn't matter. When I get round to watching, I plan to watch a few of these sort of samurai J-horror things in the month of November. I've got a feeling for them, so why not? I'm going to do that. So once again, thanks very much for Yuha Halen, and I believe he's going to start a channel up, hopefully. And he's also going to do a lot of stuff to do with vinyl, which sounds really good, especially ones that have got like like soundtracks and stuff like that, which is an amazing thing to have. So the next one I got is a film that I've been after for a long time just to watch, and I haven't seen it anywhere cheap. It's always been like full price in a sale, one of the ones that doesn't get in the sale, or when I went for it on the Arrow site, it's not there. And it is The Ghoul. Now the main reason why I want to see this is because it has in it the amazing Alice Lowe. If you haven't seen Prevenge, get it watched, because it's a great film which she wrote and directed and all that, and she was pregnant for real in the film. It's a great psychological drama, for want of a better word, / horror film. Really good, lovely slip as well. So she's in this one as well. Don't know anything about it, but I'm interested in checking out the fella there who is called Tom Meaton. I do like him as well. I've seen him in a few things. He was great in The Mighty Bush. He was in there for a couple of episodes. I can't remember what character he played, but I know the character he played was really good. Some glam sort of character as well. So I'm interested in watching that. And also the last thing I got, which was yesterday, I got these two in the 2 for 15 sale. Now funny enough, I don't want to take your time up for too long, but when I was in HMV yesterday, I thought, right, what can I get? The things I went for weren't there. There's a few 88 films that I wanted to get, weren't there. So then I thought, right, what next? I'll look at the 4K section, nothing in there. Then I thought, right, I'm going to go and see if they've got anything to do with Arrow. And when I went there, I noticed that RoboCop, the special edition, was £20. Now that's a good thing about RoboCop. Now then I thought to myself, do I really need RoboCop? I've got it up there. It's on Blu-ray. It looks perfectly well. Good. It probably looks exactly the same as the Arrow one. Would I really need it? This is a full version as well. Probably not, so I'm just going to leave that one. Then I thought I'm going to go and have a look at the Freddy Krueger set from HMV. I went across, I had a look at it. It was £35, and I thought, do I really want to see all of the Freddy Krueger films at this point in time? Would I get it and sit on the shelf forever? Could I expect it to come down in price a bit into the 20 somethings, which is a great price for that. It's a lovely set, don't get me wrong. But I wouldn't say Freddy Krueger is my favourite of all the sort of slasher things. You can tell who my favourite is right there. So I left that one as well. So the short story is I showed a great deal of restraint in HMV. I could have racked up a massive amount of stuff for things, and I thought, excuse me, if I went home and I thought, well, I've got this great version of RoboCop, it's going to go on my shelf and it'll probably get watched like never. So I didn't want to go there. So that's a short story for you there. The last one I picked up actually to get the 2 for £15 was The Horrors of Malformed Men. Now the reason why I probably didn't take any notice of this film was I wasn't too much a fan of the cover, if I'm honest, but previously in another month I've watched a film of this director called Teruo Ishii, and the film was Yakuza Law, and it was absolutely amazing. It was so violent, I couldn't believe what I was watching. So this film is around about from the same time, 1969, so I thought it has to be got. It was one of my sort of, when I watched Yakuza Law, I went and looked to see what other films he had, and I realised that this was an Arrow film. So when I saw this in the sale, I thought, right, I'm going for it. So I got that one. So okay, that's everything I got in the month of October. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little bit longer than I expected it to be, but sometimes I need to flannel about a few things. So look out for, in the future, in the next couple of days, what I watched in the month of October, what the 13 horror films ranking of the month of October, and also I'm going to start work today on my shelves, but they're going to be downstairs. I'm going to do exactly the same thing in a mini form downstairs, and I'm going to take you through, hopefully, but the light in the garage is really, really bad. But I've got a sort of spotlight, and I'm going to see if it's going to work. So you might have to bear with the fact that the light's not that great. It's never usually great at any time of the day, unfortunately. And the big light I had at the top, it's fortunately just broken and strip light, and it's gone. So hopefully that'll all come together. So next week you should be getting quite a few videos of different subjects, and why not? Okay, so thanks once again. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who subscribed, and I appreciate the 300 subscriptions, which I'm going to do a separate video about that. with a few shout outs in it. And also I'm going to just take this time to just say thanks very much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate to hit 300. I never ever thought, when I started it, I didn't think I would get anywhere near that, because it just seemed like pie in the sky. But thank you everybody, I really appreciate it, and to take time out to watch my videos. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.